Do it, baby, take it, baby. Do it.
Hey, it's your guy Mike Woods coming to you live from Girls Inc., the sports director here. We're getting ready to have a great speaker tomorrow night here at Girls Inc. for our first annual sponsorship dinner. Her name is Lenitra Perry. She's legendary. She's a founder of PYE, and we're gonna have her here, and she's gonna bring the heat to this city. So again, stay tuned. We'll be right back. That's it. One and only Miss Lenitra Perry. She's in the house. You know, we had a conversation with a couple of coaches yesterday. Like, who is this person? So I'm gonna let you tell them who you are, because at the end of the day, Columbus, Georgia don't know what they're getting.
Who am I? Former collegiate coach, currently CEO of Protect Your Energy, a company I started to equip, educate, empower families. I kind of started getting disenchanted with just the collegiate coaching arena because I saw these very, very talented kids getting lost in a system, not because they were bad or parents were bad, but there was just a lack of education as to what college was about, what it took to get there, what it took to stay there. And I wanted to help and give back. I wanted to impact, and I started coaching the impact, so whatever way I can impact now is what I'm doing.
Well, Coach, I want to go back to this again. I know we're going to touch base on some other things. Again, when people ask, who are you? I know where you come from. I know we've been friends for over almost 20 years now. But can you just tell the people again, some of the schools, some of the... Show me in a highlight reel. And I used to tell the parents when I coach, I was like, you know, I'm the defensive coach on the staff. Show me what she does on the defense side, because defense is a big part of our skill and our set and the things that we do in a game plan. You got to be able to play defense on our team, and if you're not able to do that, then I don't care how many points you score. Now, we had a kid, Audrey McElhaney, that played for me at Chat Valley. Coach, she could have went anywhere in the country and scored 25, 30 points. But on our team, we didn't need her to do that. We needed her to be defend. She can switch from 1 to 5. She can handle the rock. She was a 6'2", 6'1.5" point guard. But she could have easily been the player of the year. But we did, in our system, we didn't need her to do that with those type of things. So, you know, people don't realize that at the end of the day, you know, it's the social media, like you said, is huge, man, for these kids. They get caught up in this world, and they see the things that they see, and they think that's the way it's supposed to be. They don't know the line, the things behind the scenes, what you go through. And that's why I was telling that guy, like, you don't know what she does, and you don't know. So find out, you know what I'm saying? Find out. There's some method behind the madness somewhere. You know?
Actually, social media, you know, like in the Bible, it says, you know, it's not money that's evil, but it's the love of the money. It's the same thing with social media. Social media could be doing so many great things for a person. How we choose to use it just for the validation or to say, hey, look what I'm doing. It's no different. I don't have to film myself giving a homeless person food to validate that I did it. You know, and we've gotten so far away from just intrinsic motivation. We need that extrinsic validation, and I think that's on us.
Yeah, you hit it on the head.
So,
I tell you, we did the same thing. Even with Jessica Carter here. She came home and she was like, you know, she was going through at Mississippi State at the time, and she came here. She was going through some stuff for his mental health. She had tried to commit suicide twice. It's out there. Jessica don't mind, and I told her, I said, you know, hey man, you know, you control what goes on now for you, and you know, we don't have to do anything else but start from now. We were in this gym, and the ticker went across ESPN. Jessica Carter, after we had just had that conversation the day before, Jessica Carter, Mississippi State superstar Jessica Carter, admits to trying to commit suicide twice. And I said, Jessica, I said, you tell somebody from ESPN? She's like, nah, coach. But you had posted it on your Instagram or something. And somebody found it. And it was on the ESPN ticker going across the line. So I tell her over there, and that day, I made her sit over there with about 20 kids and start to tell her story. I said, you don't have no reason to hide now. I said, because at the end of the day, it's out there. I said, so now you can turn and make that something special, because you don't know how many other people are going through what you went through. And I watch people, man, just just see this kid. My boss, the one that you talked to earlier, she just fell in love with her because you know it is what it is. You know people can use it for all the wrong reasons. I tell people all the time, I don't ever. We didn't ever film that moment.
Right.
We never showed it to anybody. We talk about it sometimes when she's here. We talked about it just when she got signed the contract for training camp contract with Chicago Sky. Like at the end of the day, you know, when God sees fit for you to be where you need to be, you're gonna be there. But don't you give up. You continue to have trust and faith in Him. It's gonna work out. Even if you have to go back overseas again, don't worry about it. You're gonna be okay. And you know, we come home and she work out will be unlike some other people that people do stuff around here, man. The time these kids come to the gym and work out with them, oh, they want on social media.
Yeah.
Oh, this kid.
I was like, man, if I had known I need to film every workout
Yes.
to say, oh, I work with this kid, this WNBA person, this, I recruited that, I think it'd be different, but it doesn't feel authentic to
That's
me.
right. That's right.
But I also love what you said about her sharing, because I think it is about, I hate to say it, protect your energy, taking back your own power in your own narrative. And that is the most important thing, because you can use that story to fuel the next person and the next person and the next person. Just because there is mental wellness is a big deal. Mental illness is something that we don't necessarily talk about in our communities enough. And just in the 20 years that I coached, I played with someone that committed suicide. I coached probably 3 or 4 kids that tried to, and just the mental illness thing alone of taking medication, just the stigma that goes along with it. We as athletes, and I was a former athlete, was, well, we got to push through. Well, mental illness is mental illness. It's medical. Like, you're not weak by admitting that you have some things going on. And I think that's sometimes what we've started to miss as coaches. And I say this all the time. We have to unlearn some behaviors that used to work all the time, because the times are different, pressures are different. Like when the podcast I think we were on, I was talking about, you know, some of these players are going through the social media aspect of not being liked. Even as an adult, I'm like, we all want to be liked, and then when somebody don't like you, you want to know why. You know, it doesn't make you weak; it makes you human. And so it's hard to read bad things about yourself. I mean, we're not giving, I think, these athletes sometimes enough credit of, how many times, I mean, you can know somebody don't like you across town, but it's different when I'm reading, okay, Mike Woods, he sucked as a coach, or that feels different. So, you know, what are we doing to prepare not just the athletes, but the parents? Yeah,
and that goes back to one of those things that went on with this big rival in the league now, the Angel Reese and the Caitlin Clark. You know, people don't realize that Angel said she was going through it big time because of all the animosity and all the things that went on, and the hatred and all the things that she got due to those type of issues and all the things that she was going through. And the mental part of it was almost a breakdown point. And people don't understand, man, how what people be going through in their lives and things like that. And some of these great athletes, not just on the WNBA, but the NBA and the NFL, like mental health is something else, man. And so, you know, I always tell our kids, man, at the end of the day, you know, you use this game, you use the people in your lives, and you check the people in your lives, because your circle. I had a quote the other day about, you know, having a small circle. Having a real small circle.
A dot.
You know, and coach, you having a small circle, and in your mindset, you have a free mind. You have a small circle of people, because at the end of the day, you started having, just like you said, you know, have people in your life, man, and everybody don't agree with you, but the people in your life that you think you're supposed to care about you, and you start to hear, like you say, I just gave you. You just said I'm a suck coach,
right?
You know, that stuff.
And, you know, that's extreme, but it's also the thought that we have to have an opinion. To your point of, you know, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, you know, it's pressure on Caitlin Clark to speak up on certain issues. There's pressure on Angel Reese to be this, and I'm like, you know, as adults, it's easy to judge and say, oh, you didn't do this or you didn't do that. But the reality is, I didn't deal with that.
Yeah.
You know, like, these young athletes have to be more socially aware than we did, because once they post something, it's there forever.
Forever.
And we all have an opinion about what's the right opinion, what's the bad opinion. But I'm like, some stuff I just don't have an opinion about. But the way society is, it has kind of made us all feel like we have to say something.
Whether it's right or wrong.
Right or wrong, you know, you got something.
Got to say something. And again, you're walking that thin line of, even though you know you feel you have to say something, what do you say? And then there's a repercussion behind what you say. How are people going to deal with it? How people going to take what you said? So I'm so happy, because again, I want people. So when we get ready to record this for us, I want people to understand how important Protect Your Energy, what it's all about. Because what you just currently did, and I just want them to hear from you, because again, this is my hometown, but again, people don't understand how important a person like you coming to our city, what the impact it can be on young girls' lives for them to take this opportunity to take advantage of it.
You know, I'm as old as you are, but
Yeah.
I'm from the school of thought, under promise and over deliver. So I'm okay not being known, but where I've been, I started at Georgia Tech. I played at Mississippi State, coached at Mississippi State, coached at University of Toledo, won an NIT championship there, coached at Memphis, and most recently coached Louisiana Tech. But before that, I was at West Virginia. And then lastly, Unrivaled, which was inaugural year for that. Coached with the Miss with Phil Handy, one of the greatest in the game as far as just knowing the game, ball handling, his work with Kobe, LeBron, Kyrie, who's who of men's basketball.
Yeah. Kawhi, D-Wade.
Whoever you got, he worked with
yeah.
him. But even more importantly, he worked with Juju. He's worked with Chelsea Gray. But the who's who of women's basketball as well. But just overall, just connected to people in the basketball world that love the game. So yeah, I started as a what would you call it, administrative assistant at Georgia Tech, and just worked my way up. So I feel like it's important to now give back and impact on how that journey happened for me. And it didn't just happen overnight. It truly has been a journey.
I think the biggest thing that people need to know is about and again, we ain't gonna give them all of it,
We'll give them the juice.
we got the big thing coming up tomorrow night. But how important it is for you, for parents, to be more educated in what's going on around their child in this basketball. How important it is, because I think, me personally, I always use it right here. You have to be educated, not educated in books, but just being educated in the field and what you're pursuing. Because a lot of times you run into parents and they have never bounced the ball a day in their life, but they know they got all the answers. How important it is to you, for these people to learn more about what they really need to know about?
It's the most important thing out there, because when you entrust a college coach to have your kid, that's in the most influential years of their life. So you need to be a part of the decision, to be a part of the decision, not make the decision, but be a part of the decision. You have to have some of those parental skills, like just your natural gut instincts. I've been in situations where a parent will ask me, well, is this okay? You're in control of the situation. So if you have a feeling that something is not okay, guess what? It's probably not okay. Mm-hmm. But just the thought of maybe not having the scholarship opportunity, things like that, making decisions out of fear over being educated on what's actually happening, I feel like has affected some of these students. And, obviously it's a big spectrum, but understanding that collegiate sports is a business, but your child is your business, so it's up to you to get educated on what that looks like, from the education, the scores that they need, from NIL opportunities, all of those things that we hear about on the biggest level. And we hear about the 1.2 million such and such guy, but what does it look like for your actual child? And that is important to me. And not to give too much of my story away, my mom was a teenage parent. I had no idea about the process, so this is very personal for me, because I would have probably still made the same decision, but there were things in regards to mental health that happened while I was in college. So many things that my mom really had to depend on other people to tell me. And I found myself as a coach having less and less conversations about basketball and more conversations about their everyday life, mental health things. Anything you could think of, I've had that conversation. And parents need to be aware that if you don't know who's having that conversation with your child, then it's the information is just the information. You don't know what they're saying.
Yeah.
They might agree with your philosophy or not. But that's actually happening. So have those conversations.
I think if that with asking you this, do you think there's a big difference in back then and now, for as the people that are giving the kids information? Because it is dangerous. It's crazy because parents they trust. They're gonna trust the people that they trust. The scary thing to me is that sometimes we fall in love with the people that ain't necessarily for you, but they see that the things that the direction that your kid can get to, and they try to jump on that, and it's all about them. What I'm trying to say is that, do you feel like it was different, the surrounding, or that village that helped you and helped us along the way? Do you think that village has changed, where the people around you were better equipped to help you about life than the people that are going on and dealing with some of these kids today?
Absolutely. I think it has to do with age. Coaches are getting younger and younger, obviously, but it's also exposure. We talked a little bit about social media, but what they're exposed to versus what we were exposed to looks different. Everything's different, but it's not necessarily that the advice is bad. It's that if you don't break it down, like I can't just say, hey, that is wall is black and it's clearly white, and I don't have anything in between it, and you have an influenceable kid, it's going to send them in the wrong direction. So for me, yes, the village is different. I think anytime you add money to anything, that's from grassroots basketball, we can start there.
Yeah.
There was not this kind of money in grassroots basketball 20 years ago.
No, absolutely.
It truly was about exposure. And I'm not knocking grassroots basketball, but now parents are paying $30 a park, $30 a head to walk in the gym. The kids paying to play, travel, stay in the hotel. All of those things that back in the day, the coach used to try to do it themselves because they just wanted the child to get the exposure. Now, it's a very lucrative business.
Yeah, for everybody.
For everybody.
Yeah.
And so you have these people touching your child. And so it becomes an agenda, right? So if you're doing an event and your child is there and all these college coaches want to see your child, these college coaches are paying to see your child. So all of these things start happening, and so the advice gets a little different because now I'm giving you advice based on also what's good for me.
Yeah.
And that, and again, I think there are a lot of people doing it right. But my goal is to just educate these parents on, yes, this sounds good, and they get this many pair of tennis shoes. You don't have to pay for this, but why is this? Why are they doing it for you? And I think because parents may be a little bit younger, then they're getting a little bit enamored as well.
I think the biggest thing, one of the things that I was always raised in life with my mom and dad, and nothing in life is free. I think a lot of time people they think these shoe companies, these shoe teams, shoe deal teams are coming after you, and they offering your kids a pair of shoes or whatever like that, and you're gonna pay for free. There's something behind it, and you need to know. I know, like you said, there are some good people. There are a lot of good people that are still doing it the right way, and they're taking advantage of the opportunities that have been given to them to continue to bless kids. But there are a lot of stuff that's not right for kids, and my biggest thing again is with parents understanding those things and not being afraid to say I don't know, not being afraid to go to somebody else, not being afraid to say to the person that introduced their kid to basketball or whatever, hey, I want to get somebody else's advice and opinion on this. Because at the end of the day, I think sometimes when you get caught in just that one person, that's the world you get caught into, and you only believe that person, and you see things that that go down the path that could have changed. It could have been a little bit different for kids. So again, man, I just think the biggest thing with us and what we're trying to do is trying to educate our coaches. We talked about that earlier. You and I, educating our parents to understanding that, we have 6th grade parents. In your opinion, do you think that's too young for them to start thinking about this?
Are you trying to get me killed? I treat basketball like I would school, right? So, like, let's say a curriculum, right? So, back in the day when we was in school, you need to know how to tell time on the clock before you could do this.
Yeah.
You need to know how to tie your shoes.
Yeah.
You need to know how to do that, right? So
write in cursive, they don't do that.
You don't have to do that. Now all the kids got Velcro shoes. I'm aging myself real bad.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if you are in the 6th grade and you can't shoot a regular layup, but you can do a Euro, you shouldn't be
Working out.
you're not. It's not the progression.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's kind of like, so I can tell time on a digital clock, but I can't tell time on the analog clock. And people watching this might not even know what the analog clock is. But my point is, the digital is real easy, right? The Euro right now is pretty easy, but when to use it, how to use it, is that's the basketball. The IQ of the game is what I'm getting to. So to me personally, I would invest more in training for the fundamentals before I start sending them for travel basketball, because I don't know if that money is as served. But if you are in a good program that's teaching the fundamentals, absolutely. How many people are doing that? I don't have the answer.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing one of the questions I want to ask again is, I think I was more talking about the educational part of the parents, because I think so many times they wait and it's too late. Because now you've gotten to a point where now somebody else has seen your kid. Now they're starting to tell you things, and versus you. I've already picked up on this. I know. Okay, this is what I've seen. And what we try to do in our program, we try to expose our kids to the exposure circuit, not because we know that they're great, but we're doing more exposing our parents. You see this? See how this works? This is how this done.
Right.
You see how our older kids are getting recruited? You're talking to her mother. You see it, and you start to seeing things. I remember a long time ago, I was telling you about one of the kids that play for us now. Her mother, Malika Picker, played for me. And for a moment, it was beautiful to be recruited. Then it got to be tiresome.
It's stressful.
Oh my God, it got to be so tiresome. And I remember the phone call I got from my mama one night. She was like, "You better." Back then, we didn't have this unlimited phone calls at 8 or 9 o'clock.
Right.
You had to wait till 8 or 9 o'clock before those calls were free. And you started seeing those kids' cell phone bills being high. And then she called me one night. She's like, "Coach, you got to tell these coaches stop calling. Mom, me cell phone bills is." So my thing is, I try to get them exposed, the parents exposed more so than the kids, so they can be more prepared to help teach what we're trying to teach to the kids.
Now, I definitely agree with that, because a lot of times, again, using my own self, my mom played high school ball. She had no idea that I could even get recruited in college to play ball, because I just like to play. So yes, educating the parents at a young age, absolutely. 6th grade, yes, because you can kind of start talking about, these are the pitfalls of X, Y, and Z. Also, these are the classes that they need to start kind of taking, versus the parents start depending on the coaches to make sure that the kid gets the education, meaning the scores to get out of high school, versus knowing themselves. So definitely, from knowing what you should be looking for from AAU programs. I went to speak to a private school about 3 months ago, and I asked the parents, it was just for the parents, I said, how many of you have asked your AAU coach, how many connections do you have to college?
Oh, say that again. Oh,
how
say
many?
that again.
You know how many hands were raised in that room?
Probably none.
0.
Yes.
And the dad said, we can ask that?
Yeah.
If I'm paying this amount of money, that's like going to the doctor,
Oh.
paying, and then the doctor will say, oh, this is this. But those are real questions that should be asked, because I've known you, right? ever since I've known you, you've had multiple players on every level. I've always been able to reach you by phone. You've always gave me an honest evaluation. I also asked that group of parents, what would the AAU coach say about your kid? How many people knew? None. How many of you guys want your kids to go to college to play ball? How many people raise their hand? Everybody. So we got some type of disconnect, right? Everybody wants their kid to go to college. Nobody knows how many connections the AAU coach has, and nobody even understands the process of it, of how to get recruited. And that's a big issue.
Hey, you said something.
What I found, I mean, I'm the oldest of three. Both of my siblings went to college playing ball, right? But when I was coming up, because my mom had me younger, I was poor. Poor.
Po, they said po.
Yeah. And coming from that background, the only thing that we had was the relationship, right? My mom's relationship, meaning basketball was cheap. I just had the basketball, you know? But here my brother and my sister come, my parents are more financially well off. What can they do? They can pay now. So what do? They pay the money because, I have more. This is really helping my kid get to college. I can tell you, and it's no shade to my sister and my brother, neither one of them had the career I had. They both played AAU. I think I did something, but I went to one camp. The moral of that story is, if you are good, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find you. A great coach is a good coach. And now that we have the technology that we have, go to the people that have the connections to get you where you need to go. And I want parents to know that. That's not a shade at any program. That's just a real question.
That's Coach. I mean, oh my God. You know, sometimes people think some things are strictly, but it's not. You don't know. Again, Columbus, Georgia. I'm gonna leave it at that. Talk a little bit about PYE and what you're gonna bring to the table on Saturday for training. We know we have the sponsorship dinner on tomorrow night. We're asking people to come out. You still can get your tickets. $50 for a ticket to sit here because we got more stuff to talk about. I know she's gonna have a great speech for everybody who was in attendance. But we want to talk about the camp because to me that's the most important thing for, not about how much money we make here Friday night, but for these kids to take advantage of an opportunity. When you spend all this tea on the table right now to them, they need to be able to understand what are they going to get on Saturday if they sign their kids up for this camp.
Elite, intense level training. And one thing that I think is a misconception of what elite is footwork. Elite is work ethic, being able to go longer than everybody else, being able to get your shot off, being able to not travel when you take off with the ball. So some fundamental things, but even more importantly, spacing. Just as a former collegiate coach, watching people run to the ball all the time lets me know you don't know the game. And so there will be some teaching, but a lot of training with that. And then also at the end, questions and answers for any of the parents, any of the players that want more information, more insight on how to get, you already got it down as far as exposure, but just any specific questions. I just want to open myself up to give that knowledge back because that is what I wish my mom had. That's what I wish I had. So the training is going to be the training. Basketball is a very simple game. You want to put the ball in the hole, right?
Exactly.
But even more importantly, how you do that, the tempo at which you play. A lot of these players don't understand if I'm not training as hard or harder than the actual game, the game needs to be easy. The training needs to be intense and difficult. It's not, I don't know if I can say it's not the sexy thing, but it's the right thing to get to the next level.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to offer.
Well, again, man, we're going to have our first annual sponsorship dinner on tomorrow night here, starting 6:30, 8:30. You still have time to purchase your ticket, $50 for a ticket. If you are a business out there and you just want to sponsor a table for any of these people, because there's a lot of people that probably want to come, need to come, can't afford it. So if you're a business out there and you still have the opportunity to go and click onto this QR code and just, hey, look, put in there, I want to donate a table for somebody who want to come, somebody who the coaches feel that need to hear this message, somebody who can't afford it, but like I said, again, just need to be there. So again, you can do those things, but the most important thing is Saturday. We're going to put the balls on the floor, and we got a great instructor. I'm telling you, man, at the end of the day, I said it again on my little videos that I did on Facebook the other day, man. Look, take advantage of the opportunity. We had Cynthia Cooper to come through these doors 3 years ago. We had 25 people to come to this gym. At the end of the day, man, you got to stop making excuses. Stop saying this and that. You have an opportunity to come unrivaled. She's just got a chance to coach. I mean, I said that was going to be it. Your team, the Miss this year, that you and Coach Handy coach, give us the roster of that team real quick.
Sure. Brianna Stewart, Jewel Lloyd, Courtney Vandersloot, Rakia Jackson, Aaliyah Edwards, Dejanay Carrington.
So we're going to go back down that list again. Brianna Stewart, what team?
Liberty, champion.
Vandersloot.
Sky, champion.
Rakia Jackson.
LA, played at Tennessee.
Edwards.
Played at UConn, now at the Mystics.
Who am I missing?
Dejanay Carrington.
Carrington.
Stanford First and Baylor, plays for Dallas.
Dallas. All those are on your team. You got a chance to work with those people firsthand, training and doing all this stuff, y'all. You have somebody who's worked with the best, could be possibly be the best. She's gonna be a candidate for MVP this year, Brianna Stewart. Just a super talented. Take advantage of the opportunity. Saturday afternoon.
Let me add to that. If you pay for sneakers and you pay for all the other stuff, pay a little money, get some real training.
That's it? Oh, hold up. Say that one more time now. Say it one more time, Coach.
You buy the sneakers.
Buy the sneakers.
Buy all the other stuff.
All the other stuff.
Pay real money. Pay money to get real training.
Get real training. Get real training. Y'all, there's no way in the world you will get this quality of training for $55. It ain't gonna happen. This is somebody's coming to our city, and again, it ain't about what you know, it's who you know.
Right.
She's coming to the city to help our organization here at Girls Inc. Not just travel basketball, but Girls Inc. We're a nonprofit organization trying to continue to raise money to help keep our doors open, to provide an opportunity for low-income kids. So that talk in the hall that day, we was at the Sports Academy, Sports Skills Academy in Tampa, and it happened just like that. So again, man, thank you for being here. She's here. Y'all want to know whether or not she's gonna be here. She came a day early to help promote what we're doing, man. So again, we're fixing to head up to the radio station, and shout out, man, to all the people that support us, and we're looking forward to having a packed house tomorrow night and Saturday for the camp. You still got time. We only taking 50 people now for that camp, so y'all need to go ahead and sign up. That's a wrap. I'm your guy, Mike Woods, and we're out of here.
Might need them fans because it's hot on the outside today on this Throwback Thursday. Yours truly, DJ Double O Key in the building. That Dan Glory Show on your radio, man. I got my great brother back in the building with me today, but he brought a special guest. He might know some people. I might give him a little accolade now because he might know some people. He's not saying it no more now. You know what I'm saying?
Just a few.
Just a few. Ladies and gentlemen, back in the building. Our sports coordinator, our sports announcer, ESPN 95.7, my brother Mike Woods back in the building. How you doing, brother?
Doing pretty good, baby. What's up? We in here.
You back in the building 2 days in a week. I might have to give you a job, bro. Put you on payroll.
Waiting on I need that check.
But we already had started talking about the first annual sponsorship dinner that's going down May 23rd, which is tomorrow from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. over there at 3535 Levi Road. That is will be at Girls Inc. And the guest speaker, we was talking about it, and I'm telling you something, you talk about people the right way, they come. And they show up. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the one and only Lenitra Perry is in the building with us today. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
How was your trip there?
It was easy breezy.
It was easy. Jump on that mic right there with Mike. For some reason, yeah,
All right,
I don't
all
know
right.
why this mic not working. Y'all couldn't hear.
Okay, cool.
Y'all can share the mic. But once again, how you doing today?
I'm great.
That's
Glad to be
what's
here.
up. I'm doing great. So welcome to Columbus. You'd have been here, you know. I just found out you helped do a little work with my daughter, so I'm excited about that. So
Yeah.
let's talk about it. We got a great event. You are here to support this event. We're going to talk about the training, the camp that's going on. But Mike, you got Anisha here with you. We was talking about how we wanted to give back, how you want to make this thing a successful event. So let's expound on it a little bit more, brother.
Hey man, again, we do this stuff to offset a lot of the expenses for a lot of people. People don't understand that when I first started doing this thing is the fees were a whole lot cheaper than what they are now. And
Yes, sir.
it costs about $2,000 for each kid to participate in exposure basketball. We don't say AAU anymore because it's not about AAU. It's about the exposure that these kids are trying to get. So it costs a lot of money. You know, we were talking about it today. You know, a parent got to pay $30 for a park. Got to pay $75 for a ticket to get into it. A ticket to attend to watch the kids play. It is expensive all the way around. So we're doing this first annual Will You Be Next sponsorship dinner to help raise money to help offset the cost for some of our parents. Like I told you before, our fees are probably the cheapest fees in the South. We pay $650 just for our kids to play, but again, like I said, it costs about $2,000 to $2,500 for a kid to do the things we do because we stay in the good hotels. You know, you don't want the kids staying in a bad place, a bad area, so we do that, and we have to travel. You have to get the rental vans and all that different things there. So again, this is going to be all the proceeds of this sponsorship dinner will be going toward helping kids out, not only in the travel basketball program, but helping the kids out at Girls Inc. as well, because you know summer's coming up and we have an opportunity to help save some kids' lives and keep them off the streets. So
Yes,
that's
sir.
what we're doing this for.
All right, for sure. So what we had last time when you left, see, we had some phone calls right when you pulled up out of here, and they was interested and signed up. So they was asking, was it only girls or it's gonna be girls and boys?
We talked about that. Now we're supposed to be doing.
Well, see, you got to put it out there now, because I ain't finna get in no trouble now. Hold on now.
I'm gonna listen. You put me on the spot. You put me on the spot. Listen, we're gonna take 50 people, man.
Okay,
We're gonna
okay.
take 50 people.
Okay.
Parents who want to learn and understand what's going on about college basketball. This lady knows everything about it. She's coached at the highest level. She just recently finished her first year with Unrivaled, coaching the Mist with the legendary, man. I mean, Phil Handy, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, D. Wade, Kawhi Leonard, Steve Nash. He's did all that, and she had the privilege of working with him. So she's bringing all this knowledge to our area, man. So we need these people to show up. We taking 50.
That's right.
50, whatever that 50 might be. So we're going to, hey, listen, our office hours are closed at 6 o'clock, so we can bring in boys. So if boys, if you want to be a part of that 60, you need to be a part of that 50. I'm sorry, you can be a part of that 50.
That's what's up, hey, ladies and gentlemen. We talking about brother Mike Woods, also Lenitra Perry's in the building. So, Lenitra, let's get to you. You have a great set of skills. We all know that. You're a great trainer, a great consultant, an author, but you already know how to step on that court and do what you do. So, what people can expect from you for this training?
Well, like I told him earlier, it's really about what Elite is, and for anybody looking at the pros, the collegiate level, Elite is footwork, is working hard, is doing things the right way, first time, being a great listener. Obviously, you gotta just put the ball in the hole. It's a very simple game, but how we do that, the spacing of that, I'll be talking a lot about that. But not only that, but answering questions that these parents might have about the recruiting process or anything like that. So I look forward to it.
Oh man, that's awesome. So I also got to ask a question. One of your sayings, turning pressure into power. So how do you get? How do you come across and deliver that to some girls or some kids when they come out down the court that they might be mature ready just yet?
So when you talk about turning pressure into power, obviously, you know, it's winning and losing, right? And it's really teaching them how to reframe some things and what it looks like wanting to be the person that takes the last shot, because it takes a lot to take the last shot, make or miss, right? And so that pressure to take the last shot is now power because everybody wouldn't do it. And so for me, it's so many things, but really that, like it's confidence.
Yeah.
Right. That inner voice that you listen to, right or wrong, we listen to it. Right. And so changing that mindset is really a big part of it.
Ah, that's awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, Anitra Perry in the building. Mike Woods, the event is going down tomorrow, 6:30. How can people sign up?
Oh man, again, we have it all over social media. Nitra has it on her page. It's on our Facebook page, Girls Inc. Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, her personal Facebook page, Girls Inc. Facebook page. We got it all over social media. All you gotta do is go on there, click on the QR code, and you can sign up for the event and also for the camp. But again, I said this before, D. There's no way that you bring somebody in this town with the
Don't say it. We talked about this
and the experience that she has, and you don't have the gym packed. It should be we should be turning people around. We should be calling Spencer High School saying, hey, look, we need to borrow your gym because we got an overflow of people who want to come to this camp. It's too many times that we have people that listen to the wrong people. This lady has so much information that not only she can give to the kids, she can enlighten parents. So, I mean, listen, I did my promotion all for the last 2 or 3 days. You know me. I'm gonna talk about you big bad. Don't come to me calling about, hey, what's going on. At the end of the day, you have an opportunity to take advantage of this and build a relationship with a friend forever. Yeah, you'll be amazed at what you can get accomplished by just coming up and talking to her. She might even share her personal contact information with, hey, if you need something, hit me up or whatever like that. So again, at the end of the day, man, take advantage of the opportunity. $50 for the event on tomorrow. She's gonna give a dynamic show and tell. We're changing up some things. We're gonna shake up some things right here.
Okay.
So we're gonna
he gonna shake it up.
shake up.
You know that, right?
That's Mike.
We're on script. We're on script. So we're gonna shake up some things, and we're gonna do some things, good things, man, for parents and donors that have questions, man, about what's going on and how it goes. So, again, she enlightened me on some things just coming over here, man. So many times people get up and speak, and it's just a speech.
Yeah.
But give people be a part of the conversation. So that's what we're gonna change up some stuff and give people a chance to be a part of the conversation. So your $50 gonna get you a good meal, conversation, and all that good stuff there, man. And most of all, give you a chance to learn about all these different things that play a role in your child's life, man. The NIL, we talked about that. The transfer portal, it's something else.
So I'm gonna tell you something. What you said the other day, what resonated today. So I heard Donna Staley. She was on the Breakfast Club, right? She was talking about Asia Wilson. And what she had to say was, when she first started out, she wasn't that great of a player. So, but, she was the top player coming out of high school at the time. But she had said she had to make a change. She didn't want to tell her. She went to the parents first and says, hey, I'm going to have to sit her down. She's going to have to come off the bench. And what you said just the other day, this is why the parents need to come out there and get this information and understand, because you don't know what it takes to coach your child and put your child in the best perspective place they can be in. Mm-hmm. And that takes some things you might not agree with. So it takes for you to sit down and talk to somebody like Lenitra and yourself and get that information. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the opportunity for you to pull up. You ain't got to worry about what's on the internet. The internet not sanctioned by nobody but yourself. And sometimes that ain't even right. So come on out and get the right information from the right person, and you can go in the direction that you may need to go into.
Hey, man,
right
one more thing, Double PYE.
Oh, PYE.
Yeah.
Protect your energy.
Playbook. Let's talk about it.
Hey, so basically, it came about because I started dealing with these talented kids without the foundation. Well-meaning parents that did not have the information, the education to help them. And so it's about educating the parents, the coaches. Parents are really the first coach.
Right.
Every time the parent is the first coach.
That's my wife all day long right now.
So definitely what Dawn did is it. You go to the parents. They're the foundation.
Yes.
So that's where you have to start. I think that's where you started, and that's where you build it up. And so PYE started with that because I was hearing more information about their child than they were. And so that's where I definitely agree with Dawn, going to the parents, because you know a part of your child, but then we have them during those formative years, that 18, 17, and 22. And so to be in touch with that is really important. So PYE does consulting, training, and just really helping the athlete advocate for themselves as well.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if I can say, this has been the year, and last year for the city, we done had several championships in the past 3 months or so. Football, flag football, you can name it, basketball. So, this city has always been a sports town, but guess what? We got the people to come in. So thank you, Lenitra. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Because that's what we need to take to the next level. Mike, I ain't gonna talk about you. You've been doing a little something, just a little bit.
Man, I've known this guy 20 years and I was doing it the right way. I love it.
Yeah, but he said that too, Lenitra. And I've been knowing him since I've been a little young guy too as well. He always did it the right way. When I say he took care of my daughter with no question asked, and then she was always safe with you too, by the way.
Exactly. That's the only way to do it.
Yes, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, first annual sponsorship dinner, 3535 Leroy Road. That's going to be at Girls Inc. Who will be next? It could be you. Come meet, come greet Lenitra Perry, and of course, come see the one and only Mike Woods. You can hear him every day, all day on the radio station too. So, how they can follow you, Lenitra, if they want to follow you on social media? What we got social
At
media?
Nitra Perry or at PYE Playbook.
That's what's up, Mike.
Hey man, you know how to follow me at Girls Inc. Come get me at Girls Inc. I'm at Davis Bravo. But again, man, like I said, hey, come out. Don't forget about the camp. You can go on Nisha's page, and we prefer you to go on that page and sign up through the QR code for the camp. We want to get an idea of how many and what genders are going to be on there. So again, just breaking news. The first 50, we're going to take the first 50 and we're going to move on from there. So excited about it, man.
That's right. We are getting ready to bring something to the city tomorrow at 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Pull up. That 5 o'clock cut up on the way. You know it's a throwback Thursday. And I got the homie DJ Drizzle gonna slide through, so don't go anywhere. It's the home team and your number one for hip hop and R&B. You already know what it is, man. It's Foxy 105.
Each morning at McDonald's. Choose